Greetings, and welcome to A Year of Movies, a Planet Geek production. For this project, we are using the Ivan Walters reference book of 365 films to watch on the day they happened. Each day, we watch a movie associated with the date we are watching it on. And as it is the 13th of June, we are going to be watching Midway from 1976, directed by Jack Smith and starring Henry Fonda. Now, this is definitely one of those movies that I have seen in the past. I don't think I've seen it more than maybe twice, and I'm pretty sure one of those times there were scenes missing because I'm pretty sure I saw it like on a Saturday afternoon, commercials and whatnot, and I believe just for timing, sequences were cut out. But like I said, not my first time, but it has been a while since I've seen the movie. And like I had mentioned, not only does this movie star Henry Fonda, but it also stars Glenn Ford, Edward Albert, James Coburn, Charlton Heston, and Hal Holbrook. So this is a dramatization of the Battle of Midway during World War II. A U.S. Navy Admiral Chester Nismet, played by Henry Fonda, leads an outnumbered unit in the Pacific to break Japanese encryption codes. They soon discovered that Admiral Yamamoto, played by Toshiro Mifune, plans to ambush the base on the land of Midway. Captain Matt Garth, played by Charlton Heston, helps devise the Navy's strategy, while his pilot son, Tom, played by Edward Albert, falls in love with a Japanese-American woman who is headed to an internment camp. Now, it is definitely one of those movies where every other face is familiar, whether you know the name, which a lot of big names are in this, plus a lot of up-and-coming names. This movie being filmed in the mid-70s, we have a lot of upcoming faces that become more familiar within the 80s and 90s, but we have a lot of classic actors, even a bunch more than what I had listed at the beginning. But faces pop up and you're all like, I know that guy. And a lot of the Asian cast is very strong of presence as well as part of this movie. And that's the thing about this movie. Once we get into the actual battle itself, we jump back and forth between the opposing sides, and neither side is pushed forward as being like some sort of cackling evil character and all that, so which you would normally see as one or the other being like the devil sort of character and all that, but they're both treated very respectfully towards their cultures, towards their goals and all that sort of thing. And it's just a fantastic collection of fantastic actors from top to bottom in this whole entire list. The movie itself actually, at the beginning, mentions that they actually use actual archival footage from the actual battle at Midway that they splice into this movie. We have a bunch of rear screen projections. We have a lot of pyrotechnics being used in this with miniatures blowing up and whatnot, but it's definitely takes the idea of bringing the reality of war as best as they can at the time to the viewing audience. Also, where sometimes it could be confusing when you see just a ship out in the water, or you see a plane flying through the air and you have no idea who this is. They actually do give you like a little title cards. Hey, this is this person in this plane, or this is the battleship that you're looking at and whatnot. And when you jump back and forth, it makes a lot more sense to point out to probably an audience that would not be able to decipher the difference between the American and the Japanese fleets. But like I mentioned, some of that archival footage that they have is quite brutal, and we actually have a couple of like actual planes as they're coming into land, like crashing on the top of the launch decks as they try and land, and then splicing in your actors being pulled out of the wreckage and whatnot. Planes crashing and burning on the thing. But then we actually have like miniatures blowing up and whatnot for the spectacular effects and all that. And makes for quite an entertaining but still realistic feeling movie. And it's when the carrier, the Enterprise, with its Hornets, arrive at Pearl Harbor on June 13th, 1942. And that happens 2 hours and 7 minutes into this 2 hour and 12 minute movie. And on that note, we're going to wrap up this particular episode and look off into the future to see what we're going to be watching for tomorrow, and that is going to be for June 14th, and that is The Sand Pebbles from 1966. So until next time, go see a movie.